rotations early going that deep. You talked about there was something you were looking to do in the preseason. How did it work? How did you feel it played out for you, and how comfortable were you going that deep on your bench so early?
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do with that, to be honest with you. That's the first time we've had 11 guys able to play, so I felt like I spent too much time trying to sub and not enough time trying to figure some things out. So I got a lot of work to do with that.
Dante, second half, all 9 of his points in the second half. He was kind of in a closer role for you in some games last year. How important was that in a game where you struggled to score in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, trying to move Dante to the 3 and play Jordan at the same time. I'm doing that because I feel there's 4 or 5 teams in the Big Ten that I think we're going to have to play a little bit bigger. It's tough to play against smaller teams sometimes when you're bigger. But I think Dante, again, I think he played great. I just got to get him more involved in the offense, and that's a tough lineup for me to do that.
Kevin, your impressions of the freshman, particularly Deshaun, and looked like he took a spell there.
I thought the freshman played phenomenal. I thought that was much better than I anticipated. Jamie playing 15 minutes. Obviously, Deshaun playing the minutes he played. Even Maddie going out there and it's really his first college game. You had 4 guys out there playing their first college game. I thought they did fantastic, especially from a defensive standpoint. They were in the right spots. They made the right rotations. They didn't hurt us defensively. Offensively, they're going to have their struggles, and they're going to have games when they play really well. But I thought all 3 of them played really well. Is that it? That's great.
You kind of mentioned the freshman's defensive capabilities early on. I think in the first half you recorded 4 blocks, 6 steals, and kept them to 19 points in the first half. Just what were your first impressions, even with players in different combinations, fighting to keep the team or keeping Mount St. Mary's still a defensive?
Yeah, I mean, what I was most impressed with is the fact that going into the game we knew from the box scores, their 2 exhibitions, they had taken a ton of threes. And even going back to last year, they were a very heavy 3-point shooting team. So for your first real scouting report, we didn't scout Virginia, we didn't scout Cincinnati. For them to lock in, chase the right guys off the line. I mean, Dakota LaFew is a really, really good player. For him to go 3 for 14 and have a freshman on most of the game just shows that they were locked in. And I think that's what, if they can keep that all year long and get better on the offensive end, that's really good for us.
Kevin, Jordan started and was very active on the defensive end, but only took 1 shot on the offensive end. Is that kind of a role you're comfortable with him playing, where he's primarily providing that athleticism on the defensive end?
No, again, trying to figure out how to get Dante and Jordan involved when they're both out there is something that, again, we've only worked with that lineup this week in practice. So Jordan needs to get more involved in offense. He needs to be a little bit more active on the offensive end, but that's my job to kind of get him more involved. But again, for first time him playing for me, I was really happy with the way he played.
Kevin, when you're talking about having these defense lineups that you haven't worked with very much, when you have the sort of defensive performance that you had in aggregate, when you are using those different combinations, what do you kind of take away from that, and is there a level of encouragement that comes from being able to be at that level?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, Cal's only been practicing for a week. Noah was out for 3 weeks. Jamie was out for 4 days. We've had, Braden's been out. Maddie's been out. Everyone's been taking their turns. So for them to be as connected as they were, we had some big breakdowns at times. But again, for them to be connected on what we were trying to do, that's what I find encouraging.
Kevin, the 15 turnovers, you attribute that to...
You're a loud typer, you know that? Man, that's annoying. I'm just gonna let you know. If you were at my house, my wife would be on you.
Kevin, the 15 turnovers, you attribute that just...
That's much better. Thank you.
Just the first game, players getting in, the chemistry.
No, we've struggled with that so far. That's our 2 scrimmages. We had, I think, Cincinnati. We had 16 turnovers. Virginia, we had 15 turnovers. Again, we're working a lot through Julian. So Ju with 0 assists. I think Julian's probably one of the best college basketball players out there right now. His free throws will get better. We shot him. He made 22 in a row this morning at 7:30 in the morning. Maybe we got to shoot him a little bit later in the afternoon. But we have to take better care of the ball. I didn't think we were good in transition. I thought we took some bad shots in transition, and we just can't turn it over that many times.
Coach, you've talked a lot about how you thought Julian's foul troubles last year were largely a result of frustration, just picking up unnecessary fouls. He picked up his 4th tonight with around 12 minutes left. Do you think that was the case tonight? And was there anything you
No,
said
I
to
mean,
him?
the first one was a moving screen, which big guys are going to get a moving screen. His second one was an offensive foul, which was kind of, I don't know about that one. And his 4th one was a hook foul, which I don't know about that one either. His 3rd one was my fault. He shouldn't have been in the game. So he really should have only had 2 fouls going into the second half and would have made a big difference. I love the fact that he didn't get any, you know, the ones he got in trouble with last year were getting tangled up on a rebound, getting a cheap one there. I thought all four of them were earned at least today. And his 3rd one was my fault. He should never been in the game. That's just me being bad.
Hey, Coach, back here. You said before how Deshaun's one of the most competitive basketball players you've ever worked with. So were you surprised at all about his ability to kind of create space, especially towards the end of the first half, and create opportunities for himself and his teammates to score?
No, I think Deshaun's, again, I think as freshmen get more comfortable in the way college basketball is played, I think I was really happy with the way he played defensively. Just, again, offensively, it's just going to take him a little time to just get a little bit more comfortable. I think as the first half went on, he kind of slowed down a little bit just because he wore himself out, which is not a bad thing for him, and really made some great plays. So, I think as freshmen play more games, I watched, you know, I must have watched 15 games yesterday, and it was amazing to see every freshman kind of go through the same thing. They show glimpses of greatness, and then you look out there and you realize that they're a freshman for a reason. So the more he just gets settled in, the more he gets in game shape. I think that's the biggest thing for freshmen is they could play 32 minutes in high school and then go play another game and then an AAU game. And then all of a sudden you come out and you play at this level with the crowd, with this. It's just a totally different experience. So it usually takes them 5 or 6 games to kind of get their sea legs. And I think Deshaun's one of those kids that he's such a smart player, such a competitive player that it's going to happen to him quicker. Asking a lot of questions.
Coach, with Deshaun, I know you mentioned it'll come with time settling in. What do you think that next step is for him, and what do you hope to see him do in practices throughout the next few weeks to see him take that step?
I don't know. He was plus 22. I think he's going to find his. I think the biggest thing for him is just finding where to be a little bit more aggressive with the basketball. He's out there with JY, he's out there with Julian, he's out there with Dante. He's playing with 3 seniors. So I think his next step is just understanding when is it my turn to go, and when is it my time to get relaxed and just hang out. I think that's the biggest thing for him.
How did you think he did as a ball handler, the comfort level with the ball in his hand today?
I thought he did great. Thank you, everybody.
Players will be right in. God even later.
Hey, Deshaun, could take us through how it felt out there in your first college game and looked like you kind of hurt your leg a little bit. How are you feeling there?
I mean, it was great going out there with our team, practicing all summer, meshing with the guys. So going out there and actually get to play it against another team, I mean, it was great. I had my family out there. My whole high school team came, so I had a lot of confidence. It really felt like a hometown hero almost. I had a lot of fans and stuff. All my family was there. I mean, so it was great to go out there, fight, and get the win with my guys. Yeah, it was just a cramp. The manager was making fun of me just now, saying I was being a little too dramatic, but yeah, it was just a little cramp.
Julian, obviously, you've been in the program for a few years now. You got a lot of new faces. Just kind of talk about the chemistry with your team right now.
I talked about it a lot. Especially the Italy trip this summer, brought guys together, and we learned each other's tendencies a lot. And playing against each other in practice, just playing and going hard against each other, just builds that chemistry even more. And in games like this, do it even more as well, and we can be successful doing it.
Julian, you led all players in points and rebounds today. To start your season opener like that, how encouraging is that for the rest of the season? How'd you feel out there?
I feel like I still left a lot of points out there, and I could have got a couple more rebounds, but nonetheless, I'm very proud of myself and proud of my team for getting the win.
And for Deshaun, it seemed like you kind of found your groove there at the end of the first half. What was that like first to see your first college points go in and then to kind of build off that? How did that feel?
I mean, I was definitely excited. I couldn't do too much. It was just a little putback layup, so I couldn't be that show that much emotion. But after I seen my first layup go through, I felt comfortable. Knew it was just basketball at the end. It's just a game, so definitely got in my zone, like you said, and then I was able to score a few more points before the half ended.
So obviously, I've been covering you for a long time, ever since you were in middle school. How did tonight kind of stack up to how you thought it would? Your expectations coming into this. I know your decision to come to Maryland was a huge decision, a big DMV guy coming to Maryland. How do you feel coming off this game here?
I mean, it was definitely great. Huge reason I came was because I was able to stay home. A lot of family and friends and come to the game. So having 50 people here for me, it was great. Gave me a lot of confidence. Like I said, I mean, it was definitely just fun. The atmosphere was great, and then I mean, I'm just trying to be a winner. So definitely getting the win was the best part.
Gigi, you kind of talked a bit about your team's chemistry, but with some injuries during the preseason, Willard kind of mentioned that this was the first time some of the guys were running in the same rotations together, and with 10 different guys out there at a lot of different times. Just how did it kind of feel getting everyone kind of together and getting situated in different rotations?
Yeah, it was definitely different. Guys coming back off injuries, like tic-tac injuries. Just it's a great thing that we get it out the way early this season. We got another test on Friday with Davidson, and with our team fully back, knock on wood, I feel like we're gonna be good.
Deshaun, anything first time playing against guys that aren't your teammates like Juju? Anything surprise you or anything that was out of the ordinary for you, or did it just feel like another game for you?
I mean, definitely just seeing that athleticism and size that every team got. At the college level, everybody got 6'9" guys that can jump out the gym. And I'm used to seeing Jordan every day, but just seeing other team got multiple guys that's tall and can jump like that was definitely the most surprising part.
Deshaun, when you were playing with Jahari there in the first half, you were handling the majority of the ball handling responsibilities. Is that a role you're comfortable in, kind of leading the offense as a freshman?
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm comfortable being a primary ball handler. That was a big reason I came to Maryland, because Coach Willard believed in me. I can run like a point guard when Jameer's off the court and be a secondary ball handler where he's on the court. So when he's out the game, I'm definitely going to be handling the ball, and I'm comfortable. I feel like I can make a lot of good reads and give my teammates good shots.
For both of you guys, kind of in the second half, Mount St. Mary's, they kind of started to get a bit of a rhythm. What do you attribute that to?
I mean, they're a good basketball team. They're not just going to lay down and let us win. So in the second half, we knew they was going to go on a little bit of run. I mean, it's basketball is a game of runs. So we just got to take the runs and then come back and fight, punch a little bit harder than they did, and came out with the win.
You got one more? All right, last one right here. Make it a go.
Deshaun, you had in the first half, there was a 1 minute span where you were able to get 2 steals and a block. Showed some energy there. What was that moment like for you, and how do you think it set the table going forward?
I mean, a goal coming to Maryland, being part of the team, I was trying to be the player that plays the hardest every single game. So, I mean, that just energy plays. It takes no talent to go out there, block shots, get a steal. It's just all about how bad you want it. I feel like I was out there just trying to play hard, make plays for my team, and that's what happened.